Hi guys, Dave and Texas here, and what you're looking at is a really nice looking silverish gold Squire Strat from Indonesia. And the owner bought this used off the market, and basically we're just going to do a setup on it for him right now and get his tremolo working properly. It's a little bit out of whack-a-woo, okay? And his pickups are nowhere near in the right groove. And the slugs, I think, are out of whack too on this thing. So first of all, get these old strings off here. You know, that works on my channel. I just cut them free and toss them in the junk heap. Alright. Gotta go, gotta go. And next what we'll do, we'll oil up this board that I don't think he's ever oiled it. But if I'm not mistaken, somebody yesterday told me they used 3-in-1 oil on their board. I thought, huh? I don't know if it's this guy or not, but somebody used actual, lubricant oil on their board, which is not a good idea. That's like, no, you shouldn't do that. That's basically going to cause that board to have all kinds of problems. So let's get this thing off here, and we'll put some linseed oil on it and work it up, clean it up, and set it up. So while I take these strings off, hang in there. Alright, first thing I'll do is get a check on this guy's neck here, see where we are at, what kind of relief we've got. Sorry guys, gotta lift this up. And we have got no relief whatsoever. It's nice straight neck. And he said it wasn't buzzing, so that's good. That means that neck and that nut should be working together pretty well if we have no buzzing. So the next step in this little thing is to leave the truss rod alone. So it doesn't need to be adjusted anything yet. We may have to put some relief on it, but we'll check it. Fret erasers. Gotta get on this thing with some fret erasers and go from there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take my new fret eraser, my 220 grit, and start up here on the top, work my way down. Now, of course, I won't show you every single one I do, but it just takes a few little erases to get this thing going, especially on one that's in good shape like this one. It's like almost new. But what it does, it takes off the micro scratches on these frets and makes it a lot smoother to play. Right? But we're all talking about 220 grit eraser, not sandpaper. So it's really a micro fine. And it's like a steel wool type of thing, okay? So now let's back this thing up some so you can see some more what I'm doing. Alright, let's go on down some. Like I said, we'll just do a few of these so you see what's happening. I think you can see this. No, you can't because my hand's in the way, usual. Okay, well anyway, trust me, I'm doing this. How can I do this? I'm still trying to get this video thing down, guys, where I can show you what I'm doing and not to make a total mess of things. Alright, what I'm trying to do, guys, is show you what I'm doing, not make a total mess of things. Okay, now, can you see this? Because I can't see my viewfinder sometimes. Alright, so you can see this now. So I'm taking it across here. I'll do the next few frets to show you what I'm doing. And these ones down lower don't even need it, I don't think. They're not really played that much. Just the top 6. So anyway, I'm erasing. And later on I'll go back over with a 1400 grit to finish polishing it up. Or I could use something like 4/0 steel wool on it to do the same thing. Alright, with the final polish up on these frets. Okay? So we'll stop right here, cut away, finish up the frets, and we'll come back and oil the board. Okay, now you see it's all been done, finished, and all nice and smooth. A little, grit left behind from the eraser, But that pretty much does it. And you can see the coloration of this fretboard. I think this is the guy that's using 3-in-1 oil on his fretboard. I don't know if I can do much about that, but we'll try. We'll put some linseed oil on it and hopefully there won't be any kind of reaction to it. So there we go, there's our linseed oil. And of course, I told them never use that 3-in-1 oil on your board. Never use that 3-in-1 oil on your board ever again. Gave him that warning. And showed him what he should be using. And it's like every 4 to 6 months, you know, depending on how dry your place is. This may not need it for another year because that oil he put on here. And it sure did darken this thing up a lot, guys. This rosewood is almost black. It's almost like ebony. So we'll let it sit on there a little bit and see what takes place. And there's no dirt coming off it, so that's good. Just the metal polish coming off that I've scraped off with the eraser. And we'll let that sit about 10 minutes. Come back and remove the excess. Okay, I actually waited 15 minutes and I don't think any of that oil soaked in there, guys. I think that other oil's blocking it. That's not good. I'll have to read around and check and see what happens when you do that to your fretboard. Put motor oil or lubricant oil on it. I'm not really sure I've ever heard that happening before. I've heard lemon oil, which is not good either. I've never heard about motor oil or lubricating oil used on a fretboard. So, lesson learned. Don't ever do that again. He's also taken graphite and put down the cracks of his nut, his plastic nut. Right? Which, you know, is a way to keep it from binding up, but, you know, I always like to use a drop of that same oil he's using, a little drop of really refined lubricated oil. Alrighty, now, on this one, we noticed since the back of the guitar is missing its flap, or its cover, we're going to flip it over and look and see. He's got a spring set up badly on this. You'll see a V-shaped, which we never do. Okie dokie. And what we'll do is take that one that's out of position and place that on the outside where it actually belongs, like this. Alright. And this one has to go on the outside too. We'll get a balance on this thing so it's not all cockeyed. Whoopsie. Okay. Pop that out. Put it back in right there. Alright, so now we have it balanced out, right? And depending on what he likes, those screws there, you see those or not, the screws right here are a little bit tight and high in the body, because I think you told me the last guy had used a wooden block to cut the tremolo off, so it wouldn't work whatsoever. Which, you know, a lot of guys do with these guitars, because basically keeping them tuned is near impossible, especially without a locking nut on top, right? But if that's the way you want to play, that's the way you want to play. Okay. Me personally, I do not like tremolo systems unless it's a you know, one of those trims I talked about, Trim King. They have one that does not go out of tune. So, obviously the next step in this little job is to put the strings on it and get the gauge, or get the action right on it, and go from there. Alright, he told us he told me that he was using number 11 Slinkies, but we're going to put some number 10 Diodarias on there for him, about the same thing as far as being able to pull those notes on it. Plus he's got a shoulder issue that he's trying to recover from. He had soldier surgery. He had shoulder surgery. He's still in rehab on that, so he's not playing too well, especially with his dominant arm. So let's start this up and get this thing strung up for him. And as y'all know, I always try to get at least 2.5 winds around these tuners so they can do alternate tuning or do what he wants to do. You know, don't do speed wraps because they have a tendency to, you know, do something and they fall off and then they're without a string, you know. But I have wrapped them where they're just, you know, half wrap around and tighten it down, there you go. But that's on locking tuners. Okay, so let's get this started the easy way. Or at least try to start the easy way. There we go. It's always fun trying to thread these things. They're always a pain in the buttski. But one thing's for sure, he's got the saddles on this thing set up. Now, right, might not be the right height or anything, but they're all nice and parallel. They're not kinked or bent over. They do seem to follow a radius almost, right? That's what you want to see. And this guy's been playing a while, so I think he knows what he's doing, or somebody did. Whoever set this up. And the nuts on the tuners are nice and tight. I don't have to worry about that. I always check those things. But I didn't think you want to see that on camera. That's kind of boring. But here we go. Now, when I set these things up, guys, what I do, let me move things around a bit. What I do, I take it to the next, What I do is I take the length over to the second one up before I bring it back to be wrapped inside the tuner, right? Like right there. So I'll bring it back, I'll counter wrap it, in other words, wrap it against what it normally would turn in. I pull it nice and tight, and then I begin the wrap, alrighty? Except this time, I'm gonna get it all caught up in that damn ticket of mine. So let's take the ticket off to begin with. Usually it just spins. Alright, so let's try that one more time. So here we go. And we got caught in that ticket. We're going to try for 2.5, 3 wraps around this thing and we're fine. And sometimes I may go a little longer. I'll come back and I'll trim it shorter. Whoa! Alright, that's good. Alright, that's 3 wraps around. That's about what we want. The next one will not pull it as far because the circumference of the string changes and you don't need to get the same number of wraps around it. Okay? Alright, so let's put that back in its chuck. Keep that head from bobbing around like it was doing earlier. Trying to put this on there. Alright, so it's back in its chuck. Let's hold it in place, make it easier on me. Alright. Now for the next string. Okay, so again, here's the one I'm going to. I'll take it up to the one up above it. Try that again, David. Alright, string it through. I'll take it to the one up next, second one above it, right? And bring it back and use that as the marker for the length of the string and try to get 2 to 3 wraps on it like that. Alrighty, so hang in there while I do this real quick. Got caught up in there. And of course you want to keep each consecutive wrap underneath the one above it, you know. They all end up with the last wrap around it on the very bottom of the tuner itself. So now we got that done. Okie dokie. Okay, so that's about that. Let's cut that free. And we'll come back once we get it strung up. Alright, the Squire is in tune now, and you'll notice the bridge is just barely above the body is what you want. And that has to do with adjusting the screws in the back of the plate. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that bridge way up high as you adjust the strings, so you'll never get in tune. It'll keep going. Well, you tune these strings up which are stronger, and these will be out. Then you tune these up, then these will be slightly out. So you play it back and forth all day long until you break some strings. What you want is the bridge looking just like this, just barely above the guitar's body, kind of almost parallel with you can, you know, depending on what your strength, your springs are and how many you got back there, all right? And that's adjustable with those two screws that are in the back. So he complained about the action on this guitar. Let's take a look, see what that is right now. It looks a little high. Let's see, the scale's right. Well, it's at 664s, that's a little high. I've got to lower it down some. And the high E is right at 4, so there's no problem there. We're going to adjust these, sorry guys. We're going to adjust these saddles here down some. You get that to be 464s all across there. And they did maintain the radius properly by doing it this way. But they just got a little too high on this side, so it's got to go down. These can stay the same so it gets that nice curvature to it. You know what I'm saying? Follow the radius of the neck. So let me hunt around and find an Allen screw to fit this thing. And look who's here today. Hi, Kiwi. She's about to go for a little trip, I think. Little Dickens. There she goes. Okay. Alright, so that's that. So we're going to get that Allen screw, wrench, get that Allen tool and adjust these three saddles. Okay, well we managed to get this down to 464s. Let's see if we can get this on the camera. Wow. Something just went out of tune. Okay, let's see if it's gonna fret buzz on me. Yep, fret buzzing like crazy. So what I have to do is raise it up a bit. I've got it below 464s, and it could be why it was raised above that to begin with. Alright, so let's just go ahead and raise this back up again. Not too much, just kind of do it little by little and check that fret buzz on it. We're going to lower the note again, because that pitch has changed. Alright. Still got a fret buzz. Meant to take it right back up. Now I know he wants to keep the neck straight if he can. You don't want to put a lot of relief on it, which I don't blame him. But we don't want to get up there to 664ths again either. Makes sense? Let's see what that is. That's right, 4. Well, I'll have to raise them right back where they were. Now, see about put some relief on this neck. I hate to do it, but may have to. Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I got non-fret buzzing now. I'm at 564s, 564s, 464s, 4, 4, and 4. So that's not bad. That's not a bad setup for this guitar. Alright, so I got I got 5 and 5, and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, 64s, right? So that's not too bad for this guitar. Now, the question is, what about his pickups? Okie dokie. And let's check out the height on these and see what we come up with. That's too low. That's about right. This is too high. Let's see. That's too low. That's too high. That's too high. So I gotta adjust these. I gotta bring them up and down. So let's start with this one. Start by bringing it up a little bit, not a lot. It's a little bit more. You just want this tool to fit under there. Get out of there, screwdriver. Want this tool to fit under there and not raise it up any more than we have to. I just want to touch it. Like that. That's touching it. Okay, now on the other side, we're still way too low. Alright, so we're going to come up on that one too. May do it. No, that's too high. Back it back down again. That's perfect. Alright, these others I think were too high. Yeah, that's way too high, so that's got to go lower. I think that one's too high too. Well, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's too high. So it's got to go down a little bit. Okay. That's real close. That's just way too high. Not way too high, but high. That should do it. That's too much. Whoopsie. Try that now. That's perfect. Alright, those are all now perfectly at height. Except that you got some oddball pole pieces here that are bent over in the pickups. I don't know if you can see those or not. Let me kind of get a better angle at this. See, there's not a problem if they're higher than these others, but they're bent. You know, they're like leaning. That's not good. That's a sign of at least, you know, not a very expensive pickup. You got the B's all flat inside the guitar and E's on some of these flat inside the guitar. That's why, you know, these things have bad tones to them, right? Usually you don't have pickups that are flat inside the pickup case itself. Usually a little bit above. These are below, and I don't repair pickups. But better set of pickups may sound better, but it should be okay to play right now. It's in tune. It's set up. The string height is at good action, right? There's no fret buzz. The saddle is exactly where it's supposed to be, just barely above the guitar, parallel with it as best you can. What else? The neck's been cleaned and all that extra oil taken off, because the linseed oil hardly took to that at all, because that motor oil's in there. Or sorry, refining oil. You call it motor oil. That refining oil. Anyway, we'll set the intonation on this and it'll be done. And what we'll do, guys, is next time you see it, the owner will be playing it for you, so hang in there.
Afternoon, y'all.
Hey.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Dave here. And we just finished setting up his Squier Stratocaster. Introduce yourself.
I'm Mike Henry, out of Dallas.
Cool, cool. What do you think about the setup, Mike?
Buttery. Excellent.
Yeah, that's a beautiful guitar. All right. Why don't you play something for us and give us an idea of what it sounds like? New string ditto, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Maybe they're stretching.
Yeah, let's cut for a second.
It's,
Okay, guys, what's going on? He's had shoulder surgery on his right shoulder, so his hand keeps going numb. Makes it really tough to do any kind of playing, but I appreciate you trying. Just try as best you can. We'll just get a sound deal. Yeah, Mike, can you do any strumming? Can you do any strumming?
you want some?
Yeah. What do you think about the action? Is it good? Is the action good?
Action's good. Nice and low, buttery feel. Nice,
Cool.
smooth.
Cool.
Feels good.
Okay, well,
Far cry better than it was when I brought this baby to Dave. Dave's the pro from Dover.
Okey
Y'all go see Dave.
thanks. All right, well, Dave in Texas, bye. Say bye, Mike.
See y'all in the headlines.